Thank you so much all for coming along and being here tonight. It's so good to have people join me live and ask questions, interact, get a little bit of feedback, get a little bit lonely here sometimes, so it's good to be doing this live with you guys. So once again, as always, please feel free to take yourself off mute, ask questions, anything that you feel needs to be added, and also use the chat group as well. So we've got the chat. If you'd prefer to use the chat, then that's a good way to bring things up, and I can just keep an eye on that and talk. So the theme for this evening is largely about inviting. So here's our agenda. Going to talk a little bit about the happiness advantage. I would love you guys to let me know if you are reading or listening to this book, because I would love to hear your takeaways, your reflections, and what you've learned out of listening or reading to that book. I'm absolutely loving it. I've listened to it a couple of times now. I've read it once. I know Jill is enjoying it, and perhaps she'll be ready for some reflection soon. But yeah, check it out. Talk a little bit about that tonight. How to invite. So there's going to be a large focus on how to invite, and inviting people to two of the biggest things that are happening in March that we can all leverage and take advantage of. And that's the sample promo that we've got, a week of wellness starting on the 19th. And also our Get to Know doTERRA event, which is at the end of March as well, which we're doing in collaboration with doTERRA Corporate. Then I'm going to chat a little bit about lifelong vitality. Just got some inspiration while I was over in Vietnam from Jody Naylor about lifelong vitality. I thought it would be really good to talk about lifelong vitality and how we can really leverage that as well, and how people can gain the benefits, how I explain it to people, and just keep it simple and get the crux of the message across. And then the usuals. So let's get started. Wow, that slide looks really vacant, but look at that big spot there. It's just crying out for a picture. Anyway, use your imagination. So in February, of course, Renee and I went to Vietnam, which was amazing. I'll share some pictures on the next slide. Would love to hear how BOGO was for everybody. If you have any experiences that you'd like to share, positive or feedback, then please feel free to interject now. Otherwise, what I saw from my perspective was the ordering experience did improve, and there was only one system failure, so that was great. There's nowhere near as much problems that people were having, and everyone sort of assumed that there was less sales that was going on, but because doTERRA had so much stock, they learned from their experience from last time. Even though it looked like there was less sales going on Garden Easy Air, for example, which was on the first day, that was the best seller over the BOGO period. And there was way more sales than what there was in November. So there may be a mixed message on how successful the BOGO was this time around in February. And I think a lot of that had to do with the shift in intention that we had as a community, as a whole. Like doTERRA really did set that intention for an education-focused intention. Creating a little bit of urgency and excitement about the BOGO, but then also showing people how to get the most value out of those oils that they've got for free. So February, kicking off into Diamond Club, some big enrollers, Tans and Izzy were our top enrollers this month. And I think, Tans, you said that you had, was it 31 enrollments that went through your organization? Is that right? Yeah. I'm just going to take you off mute. Can you hear me?
Yes,
There you
can you hear
are.
me? Hello.
Yes.
Yes, I was promoting myself glass of wine. I'm on holidays down the south coast. Yay. Yeah, 31 enrollments last month.
31 enrollments. That
Yeah,
is awesome.
yeah.
Congratulations. And oh, look, there's some pictures. There they are. I knew there was pictures there. So these are my prompts, guys. I get lost for words if I don't have pictures. So who felt like the chick? Who felt like the chicken after BOGO?
uh, just after everything.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tans,
The entire month, really.
I can understand why you'd feel like the chicken who looks like it's been run over a couple of times after a 31 enrollment month. That's huge.
Yeah.
So, you may have seen some of the pictures that we shared on social. For me, this was probably the best, my highlight of Vietnam and going and doing the community service work and visiting the orphanage. And Indy was just an absolute superstar. Everyone just gravitated to her. The golden hair, I think that did it. But we were actually, there was a couple of groups of doTERRA advocates who were all building bikes for this orphanage, and we were the only group that had kids that were helping us build the bike. So it was really cool to have them interacting with us and building this bike together with these kids and playing with Indy. It was very special. And then you can see the end result there, all these bikes that these kids now have to play with, and they just jumped on them straight away and started riding around. And it was really cool to see such, just a simple little act bring so much joy to this community. So we have a rank advancement for Tans. I'm going to have a bash at your last name, Tanya. Kaliniak.
Oh, no.
Damn it.
Almost. It's Catalinac.
Catalinac.
As it's spelled, it's exactly how it's spelled.
Okay, Catalinac.
But nice work.
I try to put way too much effort into that.
I think you put 2 I's into that.
I did. I said Cataliniac.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have an extra I. That's how amazing it is.
Oh, no.
But congratulations. You've done an awesome job. And silver, baby, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty, look, I set myself out the goal last November. So it's been, 3 months in the making. And I think I had 14 workshops booked up last month. 4 cancelled, and so I forced 2. So I held 2 at my mum's house 2 days in a row, and I think that's what got me over the line. So never say die.
Yes, awesome. And any tips, any epiphanies, any major realizations during your push to silver this month?
No, I think every little, to me, I think that the biggest thing was to feel it. Every time I thought I was going to fail, I felt like crap, really. And so I allowed myself to feel it, to go, you know what? It is crappy at the moment, doesn't look amazing, but get rid of whatever emotions I'm feeling now and move on, because I know that if I didn't, those emotions would have plagued me and likely would have stopped me from actually achieving what I wanted. So let the emotions feel the emotions and then let them go. And that's the biggest thing I think I learned.
Yeah, move through them. Yep, not to get stuck on them.
Yeah, because otherwise they just cripple you.
Yeah, totally. It's that self-doubt, self-sabotage that can really get us sometimes, isn't it?
Oh, and you know what? For me, it's been more than sometimes. It's been more often than not that doubt gets me. I've literally made a pros and cons list for my current employment, my full-time employment. So the cons are far outweighing the positives. So there might be another massive announcement soon.
Ooh, awesome. That's super exciting. Yeah.
Terrifying, really.
It is. I was so terrified when I left my job for life.
Yeah.
A job that you make your parents proud and confident that you're going to be looked after. And then, hey, sorry, mum and dad, I left that job and I'm a network marketer now. They're like, what? But
Yeah.
my parents took it pretty well. So.
Yeah, lucky my parents love this already. It's yeah. I think it's me. I think it's me who's struggling to let go.
Mm.
Because it's there's uncertainty.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And it's government job. It's a sweet deal.
It is. There was guaranteed fortnightly payment was a top thing that I had in my pros, and that was there's some fine sometimes, and then the rest of it was negative. There's about I think no, I'm looking at it now 9 points of negative.
Hey, look, there's only a small price to pay for a fortnightly paycheck, and we just need to take a small part of your soul, just a little bit, and then you can have
We're
your
all
fortnightly
part
paycheck.
where
Maybe we'll just take all of it now. After 10 years, it's ours. Yeah.
it's 10 years in August this year, so huge thing
Oh,
for me, huge thing. So
yeah,
and
yeah.
then what's the space, I guess, silver for now, and let's move forward from there.
Beautiful. Well, congratulations once again. Well deserved. Awesome work.
Thank you to Vicky as well for her support and yours as well, Brian.
Yeah, pleasure. Hey, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing team that we have blossoming all the time. So good to see you guys rising up. And we also have the lovely Kirsty Wilson, who ranked as premier. Congratulations, Kirsty! Yeah! Woohoo!
Oh, finally. I think I'm like the ultimate hare and the tortoise story.
That's
I
cool.
got there though at last.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, it's not a race.
No, but I think going back to what Tanya was saying, like the self-doubt, it's really easy when I was elite for so long, exec elite for so long, to think that Premier was never going to happen. So, and I was actually looking back because when BOGO started, I think, was it the 21st of February? I took a screenshot of my volume on the 21st, and then I realized how much was actually done in that last month, which shouldn't surprise me. I used to work in sales before I did doTERRA, but like it really, really changed having BOGO and the momentum. Yeah. And I actually really enjoyed it. Like I loved the buzz of it. So yeah.
Excellent. Good. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad that, there's a bit of that positivity around BOGO.
Yeah.
That's what we want. And that's our job. We're painters, right? We're like positive painters.
Yeah, and I actually realized I did a BOGO relay team with some of the people in my group this time, and it really helped. Like, I think I had a belief that people wouldn't want to do the relay team because it was going to be too much money and they might not want to commit to all 5 oils. But every single person said how much they loved just doing it once and how simple it was, and it really worked. So next time BOGO comes up, I'm definitely going to go for more of the relay teams.
Yeah, it's worth the extra effort of organizing them, isn't it?
Yeah, and just making sure that each of them realised how easy it is to do LRP, because a few of the people were either new to doTERRA or they had been with doTERRA but hadn't been doing LRP. And they realised how simple it is to place an order. And I found this time with doTERRA emailing out the BOGOs, it really helped that people knew what it was at 7 o'clock. And as a mom trying to get lunch boxes and things ready at that time, it was so much easier. Like doTERRA have really kind of stepped up, I think, with the BOGOs as well. It's really good.
Yeah. Keep your eyes peeled for more stuff from doTERRA like that. They're going to be providing a lot more information and support directly from doTERRA about how to get more out of their oils and wholesale account. So when people enroll, they'll actually get drip feed emails from doTERRA, not just you and whatever email campaign you have, but doTERRA is also going to be educating them as well. And sometimes for people to see that coming from doTERRA, like it could be more edifying. They could give them more confidence that, hey, doTERRA is giving me this information, so it must be true. So they're really stepping up their game
as well, isn't it? Like I don't feel like I'm constantly going to them with, we've got Oil Camp, we've got BOGO, we've got this. It's kind of a bit more consolidated. Yeah, no, that sounds great. Do you know if they'll be including what that looks like for existing wellness advocates? So if we enroll someone new, we kind of get a view of what they're seeing, or?
So we will, as far as I know, we won't be carbon copied, but we'll be able to get a view of what it will look like for new people.
It's really good.
Yeah, and any information that I get, I always relay it on to you guys. As you know, any head start information I can give, or as soon as I get information, you guys are getting it.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Oh, that's really good to hear.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Well deserved.
Yeah.
The hair wins.
Yeah.
No, not the hair. The tortoise wins. The hair loses every time they burn themselves out. No, look, it's not a race, and yeah, look, slow and steady wins the race. You've got some solid foundations, and it's all this stuff that doTERRA is doing with creating information and communications. It allows us to focus on what's important in what we do, and that's creating relationships and supporting people. So yeah, awesome job, well done. All right, so personal growth happiness advantage. So this is awesome. I love Sean Akers' happiness advantage because it's actually there's a bit of a theme at the moment with the personal growth books that I'm reading at the moment and loving, and the theme is that there's science behind the the holistic approach, or the placebo, which essentially is the power of the mind. When we look at placebo should never be discounted. It's what we have the power to influence ourselves without any external influence. Maybe the seeds planted with placebo, but beside the fact. So so Sean Achor, in his happiness advantage, he talks about a couple of things. So principle 1, in the opening paragraph, or chapter that he's talking about, he lists 7 principles, and the first principle is the happiness advantage from a higher level. So he talks about how positive emotions, how we can just simply think of something good, and also talks about dopamine and serotonin and all the scientific chemicals behind how being in this emotional space is going to help us perform better. We actually absorb information better, we recall information better, and who doesn't want to feel good? Like for me, to be in joy and to be in happiness is kind of the meaning of life. Like that success to me is to be in happiness. And when you're in happiness, then the whole philosophy around the happiness advantage is that it's happiness that brings us all the fruits of life that we may desire in terms of financial success or career success, maybe paying off your debts or a new house or going on holidays. That comes as a result of being happy, not as a result of working your butt off and then being happy as the result of those things that you're actually going for. So it really encapsulates the whole philosophy around it's about the journey and not the destination. This little picture down the bottom right hand corner, this is the fulcrum and the lever philosophy. It's going to be shared later on during our reflections, so keep an eye out for that. But just start listening to the book or reading the PDF. I can't recommend it enough. This is the space we need to be in to be able to attract people to the oils, to be in that happiness space, not to be in that scarcity, anxiety or fear space, or, I'll be happy when. It's like, I'm happy now. And you can have a bit of this happiness if you want. I've got the cookie. You want some cookie? And sharing that with others. So just a couple of things that he shares that you can do to improve your mood and raise your happiness throughout the day. So you've all heard about meditation. You may or may not do it. I don't meditate every single day. I do make good effort though to escape thought. So this ties in a lot into Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now, and it's connecting to body consciousness, to breath, however you connect into your body and out of your brain to escape the mind, to create more space in your life. So we're not having that constant monkey mind that rules our life, and perhaps creates anxiety because we're thinking of the future too much, or causes us to be depressed because we're in the past. So just being in the present now and escaping the mind. If it's a full 20-minute meditation, that's awesome. If it's simply just escaping thought and consciously choosing to escape thought in moments throughout your day, then do that as well. Or do that instead of just escape the mind. We need to give that muscle a good break. And this is one of the best things that you can do for mental health and happiness. There's countless studies, including that one that's mentioned there about the monks. So find something to look forward to. This is really good, especially for achievers, or people who like tick lists, or people who like to reward themselves as a result of doing something. So something I regularly do is, if I have a task or list of tasks that I have to do, I'll reward myself after completing those tasks, and it feels good. And it could be something as simple as going out with some mates for a surf, or having a cup of coffee with some friends, or a kombucha over dinner, or something like that. Some sort of reward system that you can reward yourself is really powerful. I don't know about you guys, but I love to give, and actually get more joy out of giving to others than what I do by just spending money on myself and time. And I think that works perfectly with what we do. So the gift of giving that just keeps on giving is how I like to look at that conscious act of kindness. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's spending money. It could be time. It could be just helping your elderly neighbor in their backyard or across the road. It could be anything. Random acts of kindness is a great practice that you can do at any given opportunity. Infusing positivity in your surroundings. So this could be the people. It can also be your thoughts. It can be your home or your office. I'm not sure about you guys, but I don't really operate too well when I am in a cluttered environment. I like to have my environment clutter-free so I can really focus on the task at hand. It is your surroundings, it is your environment, but it's also your thoughts as well, and the people that you surround yourself with too. It makes a huge impact on our mindset. Exercise, also really passionate about this. This is where we get our big release of serotonin and dopamine, which make us feel good. It doesn't need to be anything too extreme. You can just do it walking, or riding a bike, whatever the physical activity is. Just do it regularly, and you will benefit from the fruits of getting out there and just taking that leap. One thing I really love about the happiness advantage is this philosophy called activation energy. And it's all about making it really easy to do something, not exercising or having to exercise willpower, which we all have a certain threshold that diminishes throughout the day. So if we're constantly exercising willpower to do a task, to get up off our butts and go and fill our water bottle, and the water bottle is like very, very far away, it's like 3 kilometers away, then it's going to be harder for us to achieve that. But if we make it really easy to achieve by having our oils next to the water fountain, having our oils in the bathroom, going to bed in your gym clothes is one of the things that sorry, I'm just going to mute Jodes there. Going to bed in your gym clothes is one thing that is shared in the book, and it's around the whole philosophy that you just wake up and you're ready to go to the gym. You just put your shoes on and you're good to go. That's activation energy. There's no having to exercise that willpower to have to achieve what is good for you. We know it's good for us. You just got to get out there and do it and make it easy to achieve. Spending money, but not on stuff. I think this sort of ties hand in hand with the conscious acts of kindness and giving the gift that keeps on giving. Spending money on experiences and things. A good example for me is at Christmas time. I couldn't really tell you what I got for Christmas, but I bought my brother-in-law some presents because that's who I had to buy presents for. And that was what I was most excited about. I was like, oh, I can't wait to give him these gifts. Like, he's going to love them. And that's what I remember about Christmas. That's the happiness advantage, right? This is something that I've been focusing on a bit lately, is around exercising your signature strength. And this is tied in with a practice, a study, a philosophy around the Gallup Strength Finder test and studies that they've done over the lifetime of people. And that study, what that entails is exercising what you're good at rather than trying to be good at what you're bad at, naturally bad at, because we can't necessarily, we're not good at everything naturally. We're not good at everything. The archaic way of education and schooling is largely based on having to improve your weaknesses and be a well-rounded character. So you are good at maths and English and music and sports and everything, but that's not natural for humans. That is not real. Sure, there's a few people that do achieve that top of the class or well-rounded character, but the studies have proven that people who focus on their strengths, their weaknesses naturally get better anyway, and over a lifetime they are more successful in their careers, in their life. They're happier, which is success in essence, and they're doing things that they enjoy. So doesn't it make sense to be exercising our signature strength? It makes us feel good, brings us joy. Let's do that. So there's a couple of tests you can do. I'm actually paying for some of our leaders to do this test because there's a lot of training that ties in with the Gallup Strengths Finder test and how the system, how it all works and how it ties in with doTERRA's training. You can do that. There's a 34 strengths test. It's paid, I think it's around about $40 to $50 US. So it's not cheap, but there is a free one that's available via survey.org. So check that out. It's a little test that you can do to really raise awareness. You know what your strengths are, but what this system and what these tests actually do is just raises awareness on what your strengths are and what you can really beeline focus on to bring more happiness and success and joy into your life. A really cool thing, and the girls who came to the movie night the other night, with this was a message that was repeated a couple of times in Think and Grow Rich, was focus on your strengths, but then surround yourself with people whose strengths are your weakness. And know your team's strengths. This is something that Henry Ford from the movie he used, and he wasn't good at everything, but he had a really fantastic team at a very specific or specialized fields. And you'll find that naturally everybody in your team will have different strengths that you can call upon and use to benefit everybody. And this is something that I do when I'm organizing events, and I say, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? I think you'd be really good at this. And you can delegate. So really start to delegate things that you don't enjoy doing. Getting a cleaner is something that we don't enjoy doing. So we pay someone to clean for us, and that frees us up more time to do things that we enjoy doing. And it just makes sense. So that's our first reflection on happiness advantage. And I'm going to jump straight into how to invite and maximizing the March sample promo. Just be mindful of our time. So for me, inviting and that IPE space in our pipes and starting with I is probably one of the most important skills that we can learn in what we do. Because if we don't ask, then we're not receiving, right? We've got to ask people if they're open, if they're interested in, would you like to come to? So we need to be doing this. We need to constantly be doing it. One thing that I always set the intention to do whenever I come into contact with someone is, rather than just end with, oh, okay, well, goodbye. It could be, hey, we have this event coming up in a couple of weeks, and I think you'd be really interested in. It's called Get to Know doTERRA, and we just cover, an introduction of how to get the most out of the oils and integrating them into your daily health protocol. And we're also going to be talking about some of the fantastic humanitarian work that doTERRA does and the impact on lives that doTERRA is making. And it's on the 30th of March. You can come along. It's down at Womble Breakers. So we've got a little script here. This is specifically for our March sample promo. And these are just some words that you can use if you feel like you'd like to have these. This script here, I can copy that into our event or onto our page, and feel free to copy and use that. So there's the image for our week of wellness. So what I recommend that you do is to personally invite people to this. You can share the image along with the Facebook group so people can have a little bit of a dabble, see what it's all about, and then write a personal message and say, hey, I'm running a sample promotion from the 19th to 23rd of March. Those words, you can say that. And follow it up as well. If you don't hear anything back, follow it up. Don't just go, oh, didn't hear anything, they're not interested. You've planted the seed. Sometimes it takes up to 7 points of contact before you actually get somebody to say yes. So they may not say yes this time around. They may just not be ready yet, but it's important that you follow up upon your first initial contact with them, inviting them to the March sample promo. So that image will be up on our Facebook group. Now, inviting to get to know doTERRA. So these are the words from Eric Worre, and I regularly share this. So I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record on repeat, but there's no such thing as a silver bullet in network marketing, but the skill of event promotion is as close as it gets. So getting people along to destination events. And I know for certain that this is definitely the case for men. So, if you have a man in your life or a partner who may be sitting on the fence about doTERRA, get them along to a destination event. Get to know doTERRA event is fantastic. Convention is great as well. Just a place where they can see that there's more to it than you just going crazy about essential oils. There's a community, there's a company, there's a corporate staff, and we all have our heads screwed on. We're not going crazy. So with the Get to Know doTERRA event, it's a corporate sponsored event. So doTERRA are chipping in for the cost of the event space hire at Womble Breakers. So we go halves with them. Renee and I pay in half, doTERRA pays half, but doTERRA is also providing oils and resources and a bunch of other cool things. And it's really cool, we've noticed, to have the corporate in presence at these events, because it just gives that edification of what we're doing to the people, especially new people, to come along to these events. And that's really our intention for this Get to Know doTERRA Central Coast event, is to have as many new people attend as possible. So I want to see your beautiful faces there, but I would also love to see you come along with a group of new people. And when I say new people, it could be somebody, you know, with a kit that's newly enrolled, or it can be somebody that's brand new to the oils. We're going to be inviting some of our samplers to come along to this event. It's a great opportunity to do that. And I'm also going to do an incentive, so keep your eyes peeled for new people who come along and existing people who invite others. So the incentive at present, if people come along to the Get to Know doTERRA event, enroll, they get a wild orange essential oil, and that's given to them by doTERRA. But I'm also going to be creating an incentive for our team to encourage existing people to bring along new people. So you'll both get rewarded. What that will be, I'm thinking along the lines of, you tell me what you want, what you need, the existing people, and then for new people, we'll probably give them an oil of some description, or a little gift pack, you know, maybe a couple of little samples and things like that, where they can just you know, get using the oil straight away. Open to some suggestions there as well. So do hit me up, but keep your eyes peeled on our Share Build group for that. So we have a flyer. This is it. We weren't really given many resources by doTERRA. They really want to, you know, give this event to us as a team to take ownership of. And
love you very much.
I love you too.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. I'm going to mute myself right now.
That's okay. I love to be told I'm loved very much. So we have a flyer, just posted it on the group. This is a great opportunity for you to hand over this flyer in person when you come into contact people. Remember, we're always inviting people to something. You can place it in the window of a cafe. I've got an A4 flyer there. You can place it on the counter of a cafe. Ask any you know, local delivery businesses if they can drop it in their delivery boxes in exchange for some oils. Maybe this is something we've done in the past, which has worked really good. You can also do a local area letterbox drop, which I understand Tans recently did in her month of silver. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your success with that, Tans?
I'm still on mute. Am I talking?
No, you're not anymore.
Yeah, so I got inspired by Stacey Walker. I listened to one of her presentations quite a few weeks ago, and I just posted up now and here that taking the words essential oils and doTERRA out of the invitation, it brought me about 60% more people to my workshop. So I created a flyer and basically addressed the needs of what we all go through: sleep deprivation, little to no energy, digestion issues, pain and inflammation, stuff like that. And just basically said, do you want natural remedies to rectify those kinds of things, or to assist, blah, blah. I then walked around on the dustiest, smoggiest day we had in Canberra with something over my mouth and met my neighbours. So I went to about 60 houses. And in the end, I got 16 people turn up to my workshop, whereas ordinarily it'd be easily half from that. So it was huge, and I got most of them signing up. So enrolling. I keep on saying signing up, but it's so bad. So it worked hugely for me. And I think it's also the personal touch. So if you take the time, sit there and genuinely just think about what you would want, you project that onto what you're making or creating. You're creating it from the heart, not desperation, nothing like that. And take it to your neighbours and talk to them. Don't just drop it in their mailbox and run, because they'll throw it out. Talk to them. Have you heard, do you want to know about blah? Do you want to stop, the insomnia, or do you want whatever it is that you want to talk to them about? Most of mine were really quite happy to talk to me. There was one couple that go, nah, not interested. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I walked away. And that was it. So it's generally people are a little bit too, what's the word? They're too embarrassed to turn you away. So if you come from the heart and you talk to them naturally and openly, I just can't fault that system.
Yep.
You do need a couple of hours for about, those many houses, it took me about 2.5 hours to go through because I was talking to a lot of people.
Yeah, need a good amount of time. And you can also, so in our experience, what we've done is we've introduced ourselves as a neighbor. And generally, when you introduce yourself as a neighbor, then people are a lot more welcoming rather than, hey, I'm Tanya from doTERRA. Then they're going to be like, bang, close the door on your face. There
My introduction was, hi, I'm Tanya. I'm from number 20.
you go.
And they went, oh, hi. And they were so much more receptive, and you could see almost instantly that their guards would drop, because otherwise it's St. Vincent's charity, or you've got, you know, other people coming up for different kinds of reasons, and you're just like, you know what, don't have time for you, have a great day. Whereas if you say I'm an actual neighbour, they will go, yeah, cool, no dramas. You know, what do you want to talk about? And I ended up saying, look, I'm actually starting my own business. And I was really, really honest.
Yep.
And people genuinely want to help. So, you know, I was surprised by the amount of people who spoke to me for the 10 or 15 minutes I was there.
That's awesome. That's so good. Just from the heart, and have the courage. I think courage is probably the biggest thing to go and do that.
Yeah, but I have my other job to thank for that.
Yeah, you're dealing with this sort of stuff and worse.
Yeah.
And
the positive I can take from that is just going out of my comfort zone and biting the bullet. Honestly, get out there, put yourselves out there, because what's the worst that can happen if someone says no? What if a bunch say yes? And that's exactly what happened to me. Yeah.
No one ever died from a no.
No.
Awesome, Tans. Thank you. And then, of course, there's sharing on social media, which, you know, we can sometimes get a little bit, what's the word? Barraged with the amount of stuff on social media, and we don't want to be, you know, responsible for that, for just the unconscious share on social media, where you're just basically sharing an event and then you don't say anything. What I found most effective on social media when it comes to sharing events is not to share the event, but to actually share an image that is in connection with the event. And it could just be, you know, a portion, like the standard Instagram square social media type image that you see here, that relates to the event, and then write your own personal message along with a link for the event, rather than just sharing the event. Because I don't know about you guys, but I tend to just sort of skip over that, non-creative, non-personalized, just sharing an event sort of content. It's just too easy to get attention. Like, and most of the time, people will just skip over an event share with nothing that's is being created by you. It's not unique, and you haven't put the effort in. But in saying that, we have created this image, which can be personally shared over Facebook Messenger, rather than just, you know, pasting it all over everybody's walls. Paste it onto your personal wall or your groups, which is most effective. Just to touch on the whole, you know, difference between a page and a group. Pages are great, but you need to be putting a lot of content on there multiple times a day to start to grow an audience through a page, versus a group where people are going to actually get notified when there's interaction and engagement on a group. So I always recommend people start a group, have a page, just have public events there that people anywhere, not necessarily in your group, can still see. So I just use my page for public facing events, and then most of my content I focus on my support group. Just depends on how much work you want to do. I'm not saying you can't create a social media business and a following, but I'm just saying it takes a lot of work. It's up to you if you want to do that or not. When you do share this image and the event, make sure you follow it up with a personal invite, or, you know, a call or a message. Once again, exactly the same as inviting people to the sample promo. I'll share all this information in our ShareBuild group. So, lifelong vitality. Who here uses it, loves it, and shares it, and can do that with confidence. Okay, awesome. Got a couple of hands shoot up. That's fantastic. Because this is our anchor product. And, like I was saying before, inspired by Jodie Naylor, most of her enrollments that she gets at a class, she actually gets people onto the Launch Rewards program at the point of enrollment. And most of her enrollments are actually the $35 enrollment with the Lifelong Vitality Kit added. So what she leads with is Lifelong Vitality is our number one doTERRA product. And she does still ask those questions that you get in the Nature Solutions class of, what would you like to experience, feel less of? What would you like to feel more of? And most of the time, all of the things that are listed are going to relate back to stress, energy, pain, and inflammation. And it just so happens that Lifelong Vitality is good for all of those things. So you can quickly plug people back into the benefits of Lifelong Vitality to help manage those three main things: stress, energy, pain, and inflammation. So a really good way to briefly describe the benefit of Lifelong Vitality, and it's so important that we do talk about the Lifelong Vitality and we do own it completely, speak about it with full confidence, is I generally say Microplex VMZ is the space or the gaps in our diet. It fills those, and it's a whole food supplement. It's all the essential vitamins and minerals that we need on a daily basis. And then you have the XEO Omega, and think of nervous system, brain, joint health. It's also really good for managing our emotions as well, because it's filled of not only just essential fatty acids, but essential oils as well. And then we have Alpha CRS, and this is all about energy and cellular health, regeneration and renewal, pain and inflammation. And this is basically just jam-packed full of antioxidants and anti-inflammatories, and it really just helps us perform at a higher level. Things that I noticed when I started taking the Lifelong Vitality are, insert your experiences here. So, for us, we say hair and nails and energy, boosted immune system, and improved vision even, the clarity of your eyes, improved emotional state, brain function. So the list goes on. So keep it simple, just the description of each of those three supplements. It doesn't mean, you need to know the scientific background behind each of them. People are more than welcome to pick up a bottle, have a look at the ingredients, go and study them. You can direct them in the direction of the product information pages. But I feel even now at this point in time, especially that we can't get Lifelong Vitality from Australia, it's really important to stand by it and to continue to share it and make sure people get a good understanding of the benefits of the Lifelong Vitality, and it's still available from the US. You can also get a whole bunch of supplements that are heavily discounted as part of your Lifelong Vitality kit. You get your PB Assist, your Terrazyme, your polyphenol complex. You can also get extra vitamins, to name a few, that are discounted at around 50% of the price when you get it in conjunction with your kit, your LLD kit from the US. So it works out to be $90 Australian because they're selling it for $68 US. And you factor in the additional shipping and possibly the foreign transaction fees, possibly, if you don't have the foreign transaction fee-free credit card. Then it works out to be around about $115 when you factor in those additional costs. So we're not paying any more, and we get the opportunity to get those additional supplements at a heavily discounted price. So yeah, get excited about lifelong vitality. It's our anchor product. We really, really need to always share this. It's the same time as the opportunity. Use it, love it, share it. That's all I can say. So March events. I'm beeline focusing on these 2 events this week. I didn't finish that slide. A week of wellness, Tuesday the 19th to Saturday when will it finish? Saturday the 23rd. So, yep, we're going to be sampling. I'm getting new content, some fresh content from the team. Thank you those who have sent that out. And I'm going to be I'm focusing on inviting and getting these samples out to as many people as possible who are interested and open to trying the oils and learning a bit more. And same with inviting people to our Get to Know doTERRA event. Let's get it out there. So cannot play the media, bummer. These are our promos. Everybody knows 200 pp promo for Ice Blue this month, and Lemongrass is our product of the month in Australia. We've got the wellness boxes that were released today. Has everybody seen those? We had released at 12 and 1 p.m. The idea behind these is it's a great LRP idea, and it just so happens that will coincide with the 200 PV promo as well. So that'll help people get some more free stuff. So keep an eye out for our Get to Know doTERRA incentive. Remember, it's not too late to come to convention and to gala, more importantly, to help celebrate Vicky Drennan walk the carpet as Diamond, which is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. It's just a good time. Have a good dance and a good time. And, of course, to watch all of our other magnificent rankers as well. So Tams and Alicia are also going to be walking the stage. Very excited about that. And I would love to open the call up to you guys for any questions, any additions, anything that you'd like to add. I'm going to have a quick look at our chat here while I'll let you guys take yourself off mute if you'd like to.
I'm finding the LLV is working, telling people that it's out of stock. It's weird. People kind of go, oh, I want something I can't have. It's kind of basic human psychology. So I'm like, well, it's sold out here and in New Zealand, but you can still get it from the US, and it actually works out to be a little bit cheaper, and people seem to be jumping up for it. So that's kind of what I'm leading with. And obviously the additional bits that you touched on were really good. I'll just add that into what I like my spiel. The emotions part for my family, we're Croatian, we're wogs, so anger, passion running in the blood. So this in particular works with my sister, who was firstly, when she was pregnant, she was a raging bitch. And then she started taking the LRV, and then she wasn't. And it was amazing to see how everything kind of calmed down. So, to her horror, she now knows that I use that.
Yeah, hey, that's cool. As long as she's cool with that. Yeah. I can testify to that as well.
Right now. Yeah. But look, yeah, that's all I really have to say. I think I said everything else beforehand. I'm stoked that I got to silver. I learned a lot, but I failed a lot in some areas, but I certainly learned from them. So upwards and onwards to gold, my friends.
Yes, awesome. Inspirational, Tans. Yeah. Absolutely inspirational. That's so good. And it's good to hear the stories as well, like your sister benefiting from LLV too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the kind of stories that people want to hear. That's what people resonate with, right?
My sorry, I'll add to that. My sister, well, she's married Lebanese, a Lebanese husband, and with that comes obviously his family, their friends, etc. And she got the youngest one onto the LLV. And he called me up and abused me basically and said, "You've known this for 2 years and you haven't told me why." And I'm like, "Man, but you're a dude, you're a lever at that." And I generally just have a go at him because of his culture. It's just But then he also then got his boss onto it, and he's gotten 3 of his friends onto it. So
Wow.
it's worth it. It takes one person really, but yeah, that's what I definitely lead with is it's sold out.
Yeah. So the reason why there's a bit of a space here where we have to fill that space is doTERRA can't actually advertise the fact that we can still get Lifelong Vitality Pack from the US because it's NFR. So this is where, it's up to us as advocates to advocate that and let people know, hey, you can still get it from the States. And it turns out that it's actually cheaper than getting it from Australia.
I think that there's, and I ran into this issue yesterday with my mum. Mum's got, because you can't buy the LLV in the US cart unless you sign up to the LRP.
Correct.
So she's got an LRP here in Australia, and poor Vicky, she's been copying it from me the last few weeks. So it's been the whole, you can't get, so you've got your LRP here in Australia, then you've got your second one over in the States. If one orders first, say for instance this one here in Australia, does that cancel out the other one? And apparently it doesn't, because they're 2 separate countries. They both go through. So that kind of doubles up on people's money for the month, and it kind of, and unless I didn't pick it up earlier, Mum would have been billed twice for something that she really can't afford now because she helped me so much last month. Vicky was saying to perhaps next time create the LRP, order it, then cancel the LRP straight away. So
there's a couple of things you can do. So one thing is you can switch between the States and Australia month by month. And the way you do that is you create your US LRP and then you cancel your Australian LRP, and you've just switched from one to the other.
Yeah.
The other option is to have one in each, and you could just get the Lifelong Vitality from the US. And this is what I recommend you do if you want oils and Lifelong Vitality. Is get the oils, if you get the LLV from the US, that's 60 PV, especially for us as advocates, because we want to get up to 100 points, right? That's, that's what, our main threshold. So we get commissions.
Yeah. So
you get 60 PV from the US, and then the remainder can be from Australia for your oils that you need. So it's a 60-40, and doTERRA actually count that as the 100 PV requirement for commissions. Now, the caveat to that is that you can't get the product of the month for 125 PV combined. It has to be a single order of 125 PV.
Yeah, okay.
But they do honour the splitting, 60-40, 50-50, whatever it is, from US and Australia to qualify for commissions.
Okay. Well, I do wonder why then you still have to create an LRP for both of them to get the LLV.
So LLV is a product that's it's limited and it's rewarding of people who are on the Loyalty Rewards program. So you can't actually buy the Lifelong Vitality Pack unless you buy it singly outside of the Loyalty Rewards program.
Which is super expensive, by the way. I've checked out those prices.
Oh, just for Alpha CRS, it's the same price as the full pack.
Yeah, well, I mean, I went to go buy the pack with the points in the US, which I could do. And then I got it down through into the cart, and it came up with 158 PV for the pack. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, so to use your points, it doesn't make sense to use points for Lifelong Vitality unless you've got heaps of points and you just want to try it and you don't want to pay for it, then hey, we're not stopping you, but it's not the best way to use your points. And it's certainly, it's not viable to buy them singly outside of LRP. So I guess it's another perk to the Loyalty Rewards program. Because like I said, doTERRA don't actually make a profit on the Lifelong Vitality Pack. They just provide that at their cost because they know that it's a great product that's going to support our health and make the oils work better. essentially, that's what lifelong vitality does. It creates an environment for the oils to be more effective. And this is something that I've used and also heard over the years of people of how they share the benefits of lifelong vitality is they help the oils work better. So that's another way that you can share the benefits of lifelong vitality.
Yeah. Alicia, I can see you. I can't wait to walk the carpet with you. Not the carpet, the stage. The carpet next to you. The stage.
Yes.
Can't wait to watch Vicky walk the stage. The carpet, jeez.
Hey, screw the stage. Let's go straight to the carpet.
Well, you don't have time to do that. Sorry, but
Yeah.
you, I think you'll be looking at a diamond, Alicia and Tans for sure.
Yeah, totally doable.
I have a quick question, Byron. Are you done, Ten?
Yeah, totally.
I have no objections to that, by the way, guys.
I'm not sure if this was asked or I apologise if it has been. So this month I did a US order, and normally you can I saw you guys talking about US and Australia. So I did a US order, and normally you can, if you have a US LRP, you can cancel out your Australian one by just clicking out the X's.
Yes.
And now you can't. So then mine ran on a weekend. So now I got charged and got 2 lots of LRP for last month because my Australian one I couldn't cancel out of.
So if the red X's aren't there, then there's a little option inside of your LRP that says cancel this LRP. If you want, I can do a quick little screen share and show you.
Yeah, it came up saying that I had to call them, and normally I can just, like, I've done heaps of those where I've switched between the two month to month.
Yeah.
Normally you can just cancel out of it, whereas it came up, I cancelled out of all of them except the last one. And then when I clicked the last X, it came up saying, please call member services to cancel an LRP. And I was like,
did you create you did have the second one sitting there and saved?
Yeah, I'd already placed the order and it was sitting in my cart, like in my US cart.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a glitch in the system. So I would contact member services. You can always send product back. So if you have people who say, "Oh, I can't, maybe I've doubled up my LRP or I can't afford it or something like that," remember you can always send your product back and get a full 100% refund.
Well, funny thing is, I did it. I got my free Frankie, my free Yarrow Palm. So I'd done like a big order, and then I got free. I paid for a Frankie through Oz, and I was like, oh no! And I said, like, you can never have enough Frankie, but
yeah. If you've got the free one sitting there, and perhaps you need the money for Rego or something like that, then you need your Rego, and you've already got your Frankie, so it only makes sense to send it back. But that definitely sounds like a system glitch. And
yeah, I didn't know if they'd changed it or not. That's why I just thought I'd ask if anyone else had.
No, yeah, definitely not. As long as you've created that second LRP, then you definitely should be able to. There's actually a button in the second LRP that you're cancelling that says cancel this LRP, rather than going through and red Xing all of the items. It's a bit faint. It's just above the shopping cart and it's in grey and it says cancel LRP.
Oh, I'll have to have a look.
Yeah, and you can only do that when you have 2 LRPs, sitting, saved, ready to go.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
No worries. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing all your wisdom and awesomeness. And I look forward to catching up with you guys soon, online or face-to-face. Get to know doTERRA. I'm sure there'll be some other things coming up. And be safe, be happy, and make the most out of the happiness advantage. Let's enjoy it.
Awesome.
Awesome, guys. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you. Good night.
Night.